Well, hey Aries, how about a little advice? We're reviewing right now. We've got big things in retrograde out there in the heavens, reviewing recent lessons and decisions, and all the other signs are coming in with towers. I feel like we're in for a surprise here soon. I hope it's good. Well, we're just going to find out what's going on with you, Aries friends. Let's see what is up. Overarching, we have the Lovers. So this is a decision. It is a twin flame kind of feeling of being connected. It is sublimation, taking your love and rising to a higher level with it instead of staying down in your wants and greeds, your violence. So this is a big, powerful opportunity. I will look it up in the book with this deck because these images were channeled by the artist and they really add a lot when we look at that. So looking underneath, we have a Page of Wands, Warrior Princess. The truth, the message coming from the outside. It's like that arrow is shooting in from far away. It's an outsider, often traditionally someone from a foreign country. Sometimes it means foreign travel. I never read it that way. I read it as a card of an outsider who's looking at society from the outside and has immature seeming truth to give you. You might be this Page of Wands, or somebody else might be sending you a message from the outside, looking in to you. This looks big. It's like you're at a decision point, okay? I'm going to use the Brady Tarot here today to do your reading. I guess I'm going to shuffle it with you. I just jumped right into this reading. So, Aries, the Lovers. You're in a phase where you need to think about how the way you are affects other people. This Warrior Princess or Page of Wands, I feel like this is not you. I feel this is somebody that took aim at you and they have a message for you. And it's not comfortable. The Lovers is not comfortable. It's big. It's a big decision point. And you're not the only person that gets to make a decision in the Lovers. Somebody can say, no, it's a choice, right? And you don't have power over all of the choosers in the equation. So, let's see. I'm going to ask some specific questions here about this month, current situation. I did say I was going to read a little bit about the Lovers card here, so let me do that before I jump in. I think it always adds. And if you want to fast forward over this, do it. Okay, the Lovers. We are apart, yet we are one. We are the chalice and the blade united. We are the life which flows and burns within through all things. Through the power of our union, which may be born, sun and moon, dark and light, we come together, raven and dove, as fire and ice entwine. The egg awaits the blessed hatching of a new religion. Love is all. Love is beyond. Love is the truth which binds all things. It is our purpose. It is our life. What is opposed must be united. What is separate is brought together under us. Stone, river, wind, and fire sleeping still. Through the Lovers they awake. We bring new life to the world. We bring joy of connection. We are the first marriage and the last. We are war and peace. We are joy and despair. Through all this runs the fiery water of love. None shall be denied our path if you seek with a pure heart key. Let's see. This artist says that the initial image as it presented itself was simply the two trees with roots and branches intertwining. So you can see the two trees there intertwining. I'm going to skim along. There's a lot here. I can't read it all. It's about polarity. And it's about the resolution of polarity. There's a lot in this deck about that. Yeah, so if that adds to the traditional reading that I gave you, if it applies to you, your heart must be pure, my friend. That's what I think this one says to you. And she aims right there. Right there. She's got a message for you. Okay, so what should Aries release? Release the Chariot. This is that animal forwardness, that momentum. It comes from, as a Cancer friend of mine, this is a card of Cancer, has taught me, it comes from inner, gentle, watery, lovely places. The Chariot is driven by, I'm looking at this, we see two birds. Yeah, this is a strange Chariot. This deck is very strange. It's kind of dark. So we have the frame of the Chariot, and then there's the Chariot driver. And then we see stork. I just see one stork. Oh no, there's two. There's a stork and an eagle. Yeah, there's an eagle and a stork. Strangely, in this one, they are held by reins. That is a really important revision of the Chariot. The Chariot driver rides a chariot that is pulled by two animals that pull that chariot out of love. If you put reins on those animals and you use willpower, you exert your will on them, that's not that kind of soft power that the chariot represents. So this artist has, in probably forgetting one of my favorite details of the chariot and giving reins to these birds, has given us the meaning that we need you to release the reins here, Aries. You know, you're wonderful in your fiery Martian willpower, but I think you may be exerting your willpower too much here in this situation. But the Chariot is whatever it is, a forcefulness. It is moving away from the hometown. So it can be a journey, a leave taking, and you're being told to release this. So what should Aries embrace instead? Well, the Fool. There's the Fool. Also wonderfully odd in this deck. So the Fool is usually a solitary person heading off on a journey, and they have a dog, and they travel light. This Fool is feeding a bird that is too big for the nest. Being told to embrace this Fool, or embrace this ridiculousness. Embrace this somehow. Yeah, the Fool looks foolish from the outside. And, you know, who cares? Just be you, Aries. There's also a thing about how this overgrown eaglet, I mean, the bluebird is feeding an eagle, right? So there's a lot of potential here. So then it becomes, if you can see that this is going to grow up into a huge, magnificent bird, it's worth feeding it. So what is that eaglet? It could be a dream, a fantasy, a vision. The Fool is very often the beginning of a journey. We're seeing with the Chariot, there's also a kind of a beginning of a journey that is, maybe you're just being told to release the reins. So let go, surrender. That's a kind of message. Do what comes naturally to you. Feed this eaglet, or be fed if that's the position that you are in. You're getting prepared for flight, or you're preparing somebody else for flight. Okay, what you are revisiting as Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and soon Venus are all in retrograde reviewing. So recently, you were trying to learn about temperance, which is a very opposite energy of Chariot. It is about holding still. It's about finding and alchemizing your feelings. We can see the birds seem important in your reading, Aries. We can see these two birds representing that alchemizing process. We also see the snakes winding around the trunk of this tree. Temperance is waiting. There is divine support here. You have recently been studying that, Aries, or exerting it, which is great. It seems like we'll find out more upon clarification about what that waiting or tempering of maybe your natural forcefulness, what you learned from that. Okay, what the tarot wants you to know that is hidden from you. A 3 of feathers, vantage. This is about a vision. These are wands. You have envisioned something and you are waiting for it to come in a 3 of wands. I'm not sure why you wouldn't know that. It may be that about this temperance that you had a vision, you were waiting for it. You're still waiting for that vision to come in, would be the message. Maybe you thought you had it. It could also be that somebody else is waiting. So the future, Aries. The future is the Son of Feathers. This is your Knight of Wands, a very fiery, willful energy. It's almost like this is really your natural energy, Aries. You can see, I've looked at this card before, so we can see the black bird emerging from the white one. It's like the fire is burning the bird black. It seems to me that what we see in the future is that you emerge from like this temperance, this waiting, this feeding the fool. In the future, we see you emerge as sort of transformed, changed in color by this experience. Underlying energy in this deck is the King of Wands. That's very much your energy. An 8 of Roots or Pentacles, which is work. 2 of Feathers, success. Some more wands, visioning, and then anguish. A Knight of Cups, 7 of Arrows, that's a 7 of Swords. Okay, so underlying energy here. This kind of just gives you a sense of why this is happening to you. So this is very Emperor kind of alpha Martian fire energy, Aries. This will be your energy, the fire, the king of, it's the King of Fire or the King of Wands. There's lots of wands here. That's your suit. Then we have you going to work, being disciplined. What do we have going on? It's bees doing their work, harvesting, making honey under the earth. Some kind of, like, I think of wasps. Here I had like a nest of wasps last year under my house. I had to get, if they wouldn't have bitten me, I would have let them, I would have coexisted with them, but they kept biting me. So there's a visioning of success. So this is how you are exerting your will, with discipline, with a vision. You're experiencing anguish, insomnia. It's very painful. It's your mind. Your mind's really hurting you. It looks like what has happened. We can see a bald eagle here, and the egg has broken open. These little hatchlings have not made it, and this causes anguish in the bald eagle. It's very much like a 10 of Swords feeling to me. The anguish and insomnia or anxiety, these are things about worrying about these things happening, things that happen in your mind and haven't yet happened. This card is talking about something, it happened. And then we have a Knight of Cups, that classy love offer. And then we have the squirrels here in Guile, a 7 of Swords, or in this, a 7 of Arrows. dishonesty, theft. So let's see. So in exerting your will, you have like exerted discipline, you have a capacity for it, you have vision, and therein lies your success, but somehow you still end up in anguish. And I believe that there's something here about either you coming forward with your heart and being met with dishonesty, or you hiding your heart in guile for some reason. Yeah, the Son of Horns, it's a Knight of Cups, like it's a true heart. And then the true heart should be met in kind, but instead is met here with the Seven of Swords, which is really dishonest and a theft. And it's a mind theft. So it could very well be that you're having, I feel like there are other people that are affecting your peace of mind. Why do I say that? This anguish, right? These little hatchlings, they're like your children. They're not making it. And yeah, and then the Son of Horns. Is that you? Do you feel like you're the Knight of Cups? The Seven of Swords is between you, or is somehow inhibiting you. It's almost like you're hiding your heart behind something. You have like a master plan though. You're just definitely holding yourself down and waiting. And it feels very transformative to you, which I think is good. Okay, let's clarify. Let's see, my Aries friend. What do we have going? You're supposed to hold back your chariot, or you're releasing the chariot. Are you supposed to? To me, this is like let go of the reins, right? It's a surrender. It's a message of surrender for me, right? Because of that charioteer holding the other two birds by the reins, which are not normally a part of the chariot. So let's see. There is that we've seen this card. This is a Three of Wands. Where is that? This is this one. Vantage. So this is that you have a vision, you've manifested it, that means you made a wish, and then you are waiting for that to come in. So there's a waiting energy here. There's a visioning, Two of Wands, that's also here. That's this card, Success. Just waiting for whoever or whatever to appear on the horizon. And victory. Six of Wands. So much fire, Aries. Yes. Well, yeah, so there's this Father of Feathers, this Emperor Alpha energy to you and to this reading. And it has there's a lot of willpower here. The cards are saying if you just wait, what you envision will come in. So yeah, you need to let go. Let go of something. Let go of your vision. Quit making it happen, okay? And the Fool here, this is what you're supposed to embrace. Just feed your big fat little eaglet. It looks too big for your nest. Or let yourself be fed. Magician, there's the manifester. Has all the tools, that raw, creative power. I feel like that's your eaglet, the eagle in this, that, you know, it's the very beginning of the major arcana. You have all the tools, you have the vision, you're ready to manifest it. Now you need a little bit of help with that plan. Ooh, and you get stuck waiting, the hanged man. Waiting until you see something from a different perspective. I really do think that there's something here that you're supposed to embrace before you take action, which is we have two very different kinds of birds here in a relationship. That is, this bluebird is feeding this eagle who's too big for this nest. The eaglet isn't mature. The eaglet is needy and big and overwhelming. And so if you're the eaglet, try to see it from the bluebird's perspective. And if you're the bluebird, try to see it from the eaglet's perspective before you act. And then we can see a new 3D beginning. You can see that gate. This is a hand of the divine offering you something. You're waiting for something. It's on the other side of that garden gate. It looks like a mountain range here on this card. In the garden, I never really look at this card. In the garden, we see these little white flowers that are blooming. You'll see those flowers in the Six of Cups. They represent love. But this pentacle is very much about very practical, financial beginnings. New job, new home. It's a new beginning in the realm of home. And it is a loving home. There is something through that gate, a mountain. It's far away. That's what you're looking towards. You really do need to embrace understanding the perspective of the other. That's why that's what this Page of Wands is about. So like in this lover's relationship, like it's you and another, you need to see it from their perspective. You've been imagining victory. There's a lot of willpower here in what you're releasing. Quit doing that. Quit trying to make it happen. Quit trying to force it. The magician needs to wait and see it from the perspective of the other, of the eaglet or the bluebird, depending on who you are. Okay, recently, what you are reviewing is that you felt you were practicing temperance. I don't see that because of all the wands. It's like it feels very forceful. But temperance was maybe advice given to you by the tarot in recent times. And so let's look at how you received that or how you experienced temperance here in the cards. There's your willpower. It doesn't sound like you were very temperate. What else? Oh, there's some strength. That is definitely temperance. That is reining in your willpower, your animal nature with love. It feels like this wand and this, like, who are you here? Oh, and then there is the disappointment. Damn it. It always turns out this way. There is a new cup being offered to you. You didn't drink of that cup because you were thinking about the past. Yeah. So you met, I'm going to say, because all your wands and all your forcefulness and that you need to let go of the reins, that you were advised to practice temperance. Sorry, this is a little bit of a tough message. I'm a little bit, it's a clear message. So if it's not yours, you don't have to watch it. But if you exerted your will in a situation against somebody that was trying to say, I want love, I don't want all of this forcefulness and this fastness, we need to slow down. There was a reason why you weren't able to do that. And it has to do with how things used to go in the past. Your history prevented you from actually receiving this cup. And that's what this is about. This is that lover that came towards you with their heart. And you responded with guile. Why did you respond that way? Not because you're a bad person, but because you are afraid, because you have unexamined losses in the past. You need to see it from the other person's perspective. So this is the lovers here. It's like you need to see, not be so self-centered and all about what you want. You need to see it from the other person's perspective, right? And that's what we get here, this vantage. Like, here's the vantage point that you don't see. They had a vision too, right? This is somebody else's manifestation. Yours was, we've seen. That's what you need to release somehow. But let's see, what's this vantage? A tower. Surprise! Something came down because it was built on a shaky foundation. Queen of Pentacles, security queen, needs a relationship. This is how the other person sees this. Wow. Exhaustion from struggle. Wisdom too. Yeah. I see this very clearly. From the other person's perspective, there was a problem, which had to do with an excessive need for security. It was exhausting. They learned a lot. It had to come down. It wasn't going to work. Okay, the future. The future is kind of just you continuing forward in your spicy, sassy, fiery way. This might not have been the right connection for you, but you learned a lot. And in a way, we can see the white knight. I feel like you were maybe trying to be something you're not, and now we see you in the future emerging as your true self, this raven. You're trying to act like a white bird, but you're a black bird. Something like that coming forward. Very fiery, very much asserting your will, very Martian. There's a Queen of Cups. She is emotionally intelligent. She speaks from her heart. That's a part of this future for you. There's abundance. There's lots of pentacles. We saw that offer. It's a nice future. There is still sadness and loss in your future. But there it is over the bridge. When you're done grieving and you look behind you, there's a new Two of Cups. There's a bridge to a new city, a new beginning here. Yeah, you have emotionally transformed. You have achieved wealth, abundance in some way, and there is still grief. I think that's part of what we see here in this really transforming Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands can be like a player energy. Wands are very fast. Fire is very fast. To other people, like watery people, it can feel like the way that you're fast and you're sure. The momentum in you can feel jarring, but it's you, So don't pretend you're anybody but yourself, and go forward as yourself. Emotionally mature, really good at talking about your feelings. I feel like that might be what stood in the way for you is guile and sneakiness or dishonesty. And it almost feels like denial to me in this. It really seems very much about a loss that came as a result of being overconcerned with your security and your needs, and really exhausting the other person. And you can see their perspective. I mean, that the cards say, look at it from their perspective, right? Look at it from the Page of Wands perspective. This lovers thing that you had, this relationship. Underlying, there's just one thing, it's over the world. And then something new will begin. But this is over. It has transformed you. We see that in the future. The sorrow, there's a grieving process still going on, but it's been I say, and I hope it's true, Aries, that whatever this was, where you exerted your will, you were true to yourself in a way, but you also might have surrendered yourself in some way. It's like a refused lesson that I see here. Temperance. You were told to be temperate. You weren't. You exerted your will. You came up against a very strong other who's very clearly told you how the world was, but because of your past unexamined, you lost it. You lost that person. You acted in the way you act, which is not because you're bad, but because you're of your history of loss. And that's what this says. You didn't get the cup that the Knight of Cups offered you because you were too fear-based. You're too in doubt. And so from their vantage point, this had to come down. It was too much about security, and it was too much of a battle. It was too tiring. And it's over. The world is here. It's over. So what you can do is go forward, heal your heart, learn how to communicate from your heart. Notice you have everything. You're rich. Notice your abundance. That seems really clear. Stability and abundance are yours. Remember, this is what they saw. They saw you as needy. You knew your worth. Queen of Pentacles knows your worth, but you there was some kind of neediness in you, Aries. Notice you have everything you need. You don't need to be needy. You're amazing, right? You're Aries, right? And the thing with you, Aries, is it's better to just be yourself and to find people that get it. And because you're not that great at changing. And that's what I think this is. Aries, your downside is you don't learn. You don't learn. You can't do temperance is what this says. You couldn't do it. And it isn't that you didn't think about it and try. You tried to be the white bird. You tried to be the knight in shining armor. But you're just cute as you are, a little black crow. And be that going forward. You get to be that. And that's the lesson of whatever this lover's situation was. So I hope this helps. It's a very clear message, and I mean it with kindness. So have a beautiful day.